YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about the wide receiver room and taking a deep dive look into the wide receiver room pre-training camp and looking at some of the guys that's on the outside looking in and looking at some of the guys that's already locked up and looking at how many wide receiver positions are they going to give out this year, 6 or 7. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media links down below in the description. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's videos.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm about to fuck this joint up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Damn. When I hop in the booth, they fuck with my sound. Put that shit on the scale, we taxing pound for pound. Nigga keep dissing, put them in the ground. My shit in your ear and tell me how it sound. A nigga too smart can catch me out of bounds. Let's go. That bitch got cooked like some chicken. And he lying, he not rapping what he living. Yeah, that's my cousin, but this shit a business. Work that bitch out just like we doing fitness.
So, on the last episode, we did the running backs. We talked about the running back room pre-training camps. Now we're transitioning to the wide receiver room. And comment down below what position you want to see me do next. So, the wide receiver room. It's crazy because a couple years ago, this is one of the weakest groups on this team, you know. And now we're 2.5 years later, and this is one of the strengths on this team. I mean, guys, we went from having nobody besides Terry Mclaughlin. Like, Terry Mclaughlin was the only person on this roster that we know can go out there and give us something. I mean, Dontrell, Emmett, trash. Isaiah Wright, Antonio Gandy, Golden, just so much garbage around Terry, man. And now he finally has help. And this wide receiver room is now a strength on this roster, you know, and it's very, very good to see because it's exciting that this offense could be something special this year. You look at the wide receiver room, and it's 5 guys that we already know are locked up. Terry McLaurin, obviously, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel, Deomi Brown, and Cam Sims. Those guys are making a roster for sure. Now, are they going to keep 6 or 7? I think they're going to keep 6, and that last wide receiver spot they're going to give to a person that can do work in the slot and return kickoffs and punts. Now you have Alex Erickson, who they brought in to be that new kick returner, that new DeAndre Carter this year. But like I said a lot of times in my videos, I don't think they're just going to give one position slot away to a person that can just kick return or punt return. I think you're going to have to provide positional ability too. So if it's going to be Alex Erickson, he has to be able to go out there and play a little bit of slot, just how DeAndre Carter had to do it last year. That's why we went with DeAndre Carter. We knew how good he was being a punt returner / kick returner, but the guy had such a good training camp as a receiver. We're like, okay, we might have something in him. And what did that translate into? He was really, really solid for us last year. He just had one injury-riddled season, and I think he's going to be in for a really, really good one again if he can stay healthy. And then you look at Deomi Brown, a guy that we leaned a lot on last year early in the season. And this guy was a guy that needed time to develop. He needs time to learn the system, man. We expect everyone to just be Terry McLaurin, and everyone isn't Terry McLaurin. You have to learn how to play this game. Everyone develops and grows at a different speed, and Deomi's one of these guys that it takes time for him to adjust to the NFL speed. And he even said it himself. This year he's more comfortable, he's more humble, and I think Deomi Brown's going to be in for a really, really solid year. My man looks jacked, and I think he's going to be really, really solid for us. And then you have Cam Sims, a guy that I really like a lot. I've been saying this guy was due for a breakout year, but now 2 years now. And part of that, why I don't think it's been done, is because they don't use Cam Sims enough, man. He's that big body receiver that we want and we need, especially in the red zone. And he's shown that multiple times that he can just be more than just a special teams guy. I mean, look what he did last year to Trayvon Diggs. Look what he did the year prior to the Steelers, taking a screen all the way for a first down and more. Like, the guy is really, really talented. I just think he needs more opportunities. And now with having Carson Wentz as his quarterback, I really think he's going to be able to get that. And this is just exciting, man. This wide receiver room is really, really good. And these guys were all just working out together. Stands for Deomi and Curtis Samuel. But Terry, Cam, Sims, Jahan was working out together. And it was really, really fun to see these guys get the chemistry down pat, because we know they're going to need it. And Carson Wentz, they have a strong arm quarterback in Carson Wentz that's going to be distributing this ball. And it's going to be a very, very fun, high fashion, fast-paced offense, bombs away kind of offense. And I'm excited about it. I really am. And I think we have a wide receiver room that everyone can contribute in. Everyone isn't the Terry McLaurin, but we need Cam Sims. We need Deomi Browns. We need Curtis Samuels, And I think we have a really legitimate wide receiver room where everyone knows their roles. Jahan Dawson's going to come in here and be that wide receiver too. And I have high expectations for him. Why? Because we took him at 16, and not just because we took him in the first round at 16, but this guy was the most pro-ready wide receiver coming out of college, out of this year's draft. He has the best hands out of this year's draft class, and he's a 4-year senior, so I'm expecting this guy to be pro-ready week 1. And he's shown that in minicamp and OTAs that he's able to torch these guys, and he just looks really, really good, and he's ready to rock and roll. And I'm excited, man. This room is really, really good on paper, and I'm waiting for these guys to put it on the field, and I can't wait. But it's not really too much to look here as we preview this group headed into training camp, because we already know the 5 guys that's making this roster. It's who's going to make that 6th spot, and it's between 2 people. Again, you can throw in a couple other guys if you want, but I really think it's just between Alex Erickson and Dax Milne. And if it was up to me, I don't really know much about Alex Erickson outside of him being a kick returner / punt returner. I would just roll with Dax Milne, just for the simple fact that we know he can be really solid for us. He was groomed under Adam Humphries last year, and we know he can catch punts and kick returns. He was doing it last year at the open practice, so I know he can do it. And me personally, like I said in multiple videos, I don't care about returning kicks, bro, or returning punts. Just give me the ball at the 25. Let my offense go to work. Like, how rare, or how often, I should say, do you see kick returns, especially if you're not named Cordell Patterson or Jamal Agnew? Like, you may have one every once in a while, like we did last year with DeAndre Carter. Okay, so just give me the ball at 25. Give me somebody that's not going to do too much with the ball, that's going to be smart, going to know when to take it out, when going to be able to know when to nail it, and just make the catch overall, especially on punts. And that guy may be Alex Erickson, but since I don't know how well he is as a receiver, and I know Dax Milne can be really solid as a rotational slot guy, I would put my money on him to make this roster. But you never know, because you can see Alex Erickson have a really strong training camp, and he makes this roster over Dax Milne. A lot of people don't realize, like, Dax Milne, as good as he was last year, he's on the outside looking in. Like, he does not have to make this roster, and it could definitely be Alex Erickson. Like last year with DeAndre Carter, I can remember I didn't expect him to make this roster last year. I really didn't. The only reason why I had him making this roster, if I did, is because of his kick return abilities. But he showed what he could do in training camp. That's why training camp for guys like Alex Erickson and Dax Milne is so vital, to show what you can do at both ends, kick return and as a receiver, because that gives you a better chance to make this roster. And look what it did for DeAndre Carter. Got him paid in LA. So again, this wide receiver room is stacked. It's loaded. I'm really excited about it. Terry McLaurin is a stud. Jahan Dawson, I'm expecting big things from him. Cam Sims is a guy that, again, I think can be really solid when he's given the opportunities to. Curtis Samuel is a guy that I'm waiting to see explode, and I know it's in there. And we know how talented he can be. He torched us 2 years in a row, in 19 and in 20. So we know how good he can be when he's healthy. It just sucks that when the year he gets here, he has an injury-riddled season. But he's fully healthy now, and he's fully ready to go for training camp in the season. So I pray that all these guys stay healthy, and we can just finally see this offense be explosive and finally have a good wide receiving core for Carson Wentz for the first time in his career, and the first time we've had a legitimate wide receiving core since Deshaun Jackson, Jamison Crowder, Jordan Reed, and company. So yeah, man, let me try to think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, it's me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, helps to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on my social media links down below in the description: TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you so much. Let me know what position group you want to see me do next. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, helps to the Washington Commanders. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you pop.